Alright, all you fine people out there in internet land, it's me, Hayzink, and I am back with another Street Fighter Duel video. So, it's over. Well, basically it's over. The monster invasion event, i.e. the hunt, is done. The dragon is dead. And your expectations have come crashing to the floor. Because, despite what I was told when I asked, and even though in the last video I said I didn't believe it, they didn't give us everything, right? So obviously, if you guys know that, if you look at the reward table, you had kill 1, kill 2, kill 3, kill 4, kill 5, kill 6. And obviously, the expectation was if you killed 6, you would have got all the rewards. I think during the event, most of us thought we were probably going to get them after each kill, which didn't happen. And then they announced we were going to get them at the end. Now, I obviously said in a previous video that reading the wording, reading the way things were, and the fact that they weren't going to pay out to the end, I was very worried that they were only going to pay out whatever reward was applicable to the number of kills that we got. However, I know that the player base were expecting like whoosh, this and above kind of thing for the rewards. I checked and I was told that the intention was to pay out all the rewards. If you kill the dragon, you get all the rewards. If you watched that video, I did say, however, that I've had a lot of dealings with Chinese devs, and sometimes things can get lost in communication. I'm not saying it's on purpose, but them saying we intend to pay out the top reward, like pay out all the rewards, to them that might have been just that last thing, because they consider that to be all the rewards, maximum rewards kind of thing, okay? Whereas to us, all the rewards means all the rewards, everything you can see. So I had the suspicion that it was going to be a kind of breakdown in communication, and if you go and look at your rewards, you can see that that's all we got. We got the kill 6. This means that a lot of like previews and stuff like that were done of this event were sadly inaccurate. I can't really blame anyone for that, because I think, to be honest, at the time I expected all these rewards as well, and it means that overall we probably didn't get as many tiers as people thought. I mean, we got plenty of tiers, but they were mainly from free-to-play players upset that we were being absolutely, well, I say we, but players were being absolutely shafted out of the fact that it was a pay-to-win event. This is very unfortunate, you know. I can understand that, because it's the first big event in a game. You want to take part in it. You want a chance to at least feel like you're getting a chance to get a unit. Yep, we got a copy, fair enough, but as people very quickly found out, and really we did tell you at the time, one copy is literally just a little trophy. It's going to sit in your box and it's going to be, hey, I was here, I played the event during this time. Unless you get that character leveled up, it's not going to be any use to you. And from what I can gather, I mean, like most games, to be honest, limited time characters don't go into normal pools. So if you don't pay to get the summons in this event, you're not going to ever be able to use Ken. Will he return? Some collabs do return on some games. There's no guarantee it's going to happen in this one. And if it does happen, I don't really know why they would suddenly make him more free-to-play accessible. So unfortunately, if you're going to want to use your Ken, you're sadly going to have to summon, and the only way to do that would be buying more tiers. So because of that, I'm going to grade the event, right? Now, my grading system is probably going to be A to D, A being the best, D being the worst. And let's just really quickly go over what this event consisted of. So, it was a 2-week event, and you had probably the most, I mean, hands-on thing, I guess. I guess it was the hunt, I don't really know, to be honest, but it was probably Shadow Invasion. Shadow Invasion, you went in, you done stages. It was a bit like the Inverse World and stuff like that, where you travel from base to base, killing different bosses. However, it was very linear. It was a straight line, go up, kill an enemy set, get the chest, kill an enemy set, get the chest. There wasn't a lot of variety, there wasn't boost cards or anything like that, and when you completed the first one, you got 1 tier. When you completed the second one, you got another tier, so that puts us at 2. And then when you completed the final one, you got 2 tiers, so 4 in total, okay. Along with that event, it liked to bring a little bit of confusion, because it really spanned the whole thing of why am I stuck at 98%, and people replying back, fall in the hole. So fall in the hole became a commonly used phrase during this event, one of the more notable things about the event. And if you've still not done that, go to the ice level, fall in one of the holes and you'll get 100%. Hey, you don't get any more tiers though, you will just get some bonus things. So 4 tiers, one thing, 3 days, because it was one opened, a few days later another opened, a few days after that another opened. So realistically it was 5 minutes of content over 2 weeks, broken up so that you could only access it like at set periods. However, in total 3 stages, 15 minutes, so about 15 minutes of content in tops in a 2-week event. Okay, so other than that, the only other thing that you could do in this event was the hunt. And the hunt consisted obviously of you taking 3 to 5 shots a day against the dragon. 3 shots was to get all the chests, 2 shots was just to get extra points to kill the dragon that was always going to die. Always. Like, if you tracked this event, I told you guys at the start, it would die. If no one attacked this dragon, it would die. And if you actually paid attention, the pacing of the kills were the same. So the dragon got stronger, the dragon got harder to beat because it had more HP. However, the dragon died at the same pace. Okay, people lost access to Ken, so it meant they were doing less damage, but the death of the dragon never slowed down. Okay, so that bleed mechanic that I spoke about was there. Again, I don't really think that's anything dodgy. It wasn't rigged. It wasn't a case of, oh, the dragon was always going to die, it's rigged. All these games do this, okay? And again, the reason they do it is because things like raids give the player base an indication of what player activity levels are like, okay? And if you're playing a game and you see that you don't have a lot of active players, what it does is it seeds doubt in your head. Actually, is this game doing well? If this game's not doing well, I don't know if I want to play it. Or if you're a spender, it's a case of, if it's not doing well, I don't know if I want to spend money. So they don't want you to know that, and this is again across all of gachas. It's not just with this. They don't want you to know that. They want to give the illusion that the player base is high. The player base might be high, right? But if they do things like this, you don't know. So it takes the doubt away for them, and it basically allows them the comfort of you knowing that, or at least you thinking, there's lots of people playing the game, and it keeps interest levels high. Okay, so that's why you'll probably find that going forward that'll happen a lot. There'll be raid events, there'll be some sort of a bleed mechanic, and the character will die. I guarantee you we'll win every raid, hands down, easy. So obviously we won the raid. As I explained at the start of the video, we had the raid rewards, and the raid rewards, we were expecting to get, what was it, 7 wishes from this. We actually got 5, because on the final 2 kills, when they sent us our gifts for the kills, we got 1 and 1 wishes with kill 5 and kill 6, and then our overall reward was 3 additional wishes. Okay, so that's now put us to a total of 9 wishes, right? There was 3, I think, available from here. Was it 3? Yeah, there was 3 available from here, so that puts us up to 12. So we're at 12 wishes, and from the missions there was 1 more, 13 wishes. So we did actually end up on 13 wishes. The magic number 13, we ended up on 13 wishes. So it'd be interesting to know how many people, because they changed something. We don't quite know everything that they changed with regards to the patch, but they did change something. So if you manage to do every mission, if you manage to do every achievement, if you also manage to beat all the shadow stages and you were paid out for every one of the kills, comment down below and let me know, within your 13 pulls, did you get a copy of Ken, and are you now sitting with an A+ Ken? I'd be interested to know that. I only want to know if you've done it within 13 pulls. So whether it was 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, it doesn't matter. I just want to know, did you get him within your first 13 pulls? Comment and let me know in the comment section down below, because they did patch something and we don't quite know what fully changed. Some people say they're still triggering it on 13, some people saying it's not. So I'd just be interested to get the numbers if you can kind of comment them down below. So for an event, in fact obviously you had the supply shop and stuff, but like, it's just a shop. I'm not really going to go in there and start talking about it. So for an event is ideally supposed to be something that is your content, right? It's your new content, because there's going to come a point where you really either struggle to or you cannot progress in story. So you log in daily, you do your dailies, and there's not a lot to do, right? And long term in gachas, what they tend to do is they add limited time events. And those limited time events end up being, especially for endgame players, their content, because they've basically done the core content, so they need these events to be the content. Now, if that's you, if you are, I don't like to say an endgame player yet, because like, I mean, yeah, some people can be pretty far into the game. I'm pretty far into the game, but do you consider that endgame? I don't know. But in future, if this is the type of event structure we're going to get, this will be content for like endgame players, and it's lacking. To be completely honest, it's very lacking. There's nothing to do, really. You log on, you'll do 5 things every, 4 days, 5 days. You might have a stage that opens up that lets you spend an extra 5 minutes. But all in, with regards to getting content from the event, there is no real content, other than you potentially spending your diamonds to chase a score on the event table. There isn't any real content there, so to speak of. So obviously, I said that with this event, I was going to grade it, and my grading system moving forward is going to be A to D. Now, factoring everything in, factoring in what you can do from this event, factoring in the rewards table of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 kills was, I'm not going to say it was misleading, right? Because if you read the wording, it was quite ambiguous. You could take it one way or you could take it the other. However, they could have cleared it up by just simply stating only one payable. That's it. That's all I have to say. Only one payable. If they put that there, from day one, people would have known not to have the other expectation, so it could have been avoided. But again, we can't really call it a scam or an issue, because the wording didn't say we'd get them all, but it also didn't say we wouldn't get them all. So the confusion is fair, but at the same time, we've not really got a leg to stand on with regards to demanding the rest of those things, because they never actually said we would get them. It was literally just a Discord communication that easily could have been given out incorrectly. So I don't think we've got a leg to stand on trying to argue to get the extra wishes, but I do think they could have been more clear around it. Also, factoring in the fact that they made Ken a completely pay-to-win unit, that unless you paid, you weren't going to get him, closing it off to all the free-to-play players, which in the first month of the game was madness in my opinion. I really do think it was madness. Even if they plan to do that in future, they should have maybe held off Ken, done something else this month, gave free-to-play players a chance to really get involved. Really get involved. Maybe month 2, month 3, that's when you introduce your pay-to-win event. And then have a couple of months where free-to-play players have got full access, and then if you need to do another one for, say, Dante, you do it after the game is kind of bedded in, it's got a player base that's kind of with it, thriving and enjoying things. I think that was a massive mistake. So because they screwed up in their first event, I'm going to screw up in my first grading, and although going forward all of my grades are going to be given between A and D, for this event there's only one grade that fits. One grade and one grade only can fit this event, and that is a big fat L. That's it. That's the only grade that fits this event. There's no other letter grade that can be assigned to this event that sums it up any better than a massive L. It upset the player base, it caused mass refunding, it's caused a negative wave of comments and outside eyes to be on this gacha. People now, if someone says, I'm looking to play Street Fighter Duel, you've now got a massive bunch of players who left day 1, or week 1, week 2, whatever, who will now forever, moving forward, say, that game sucks, it's a scam. And that's going to have an effect on gaining new players. So, for that reason, the only suitable grade that can be assigned to this event is a massive L, and that's it. Anyway guys, let me know if you agree with my assessment in the comments down below. What do you think? Answer the question as well about the summons. If you got all of them, did you trigger it? Did you get him as a dupe? I would be very interested to know. But that's it. So this event's done. We can look forward to Akuma, which, if we kind of look at the time of the month we're at just now, we're at the 28th. This event ends in just under 2 days. Aye, just under 2 days. So this will end on the last day of May. And everything they've done so far, they seem to just, one stops, a new one immediately ends. So I wouldn't be shocked if Akuma does actually drop on the 1st of April, and that's not a joke for April Fools. But we'll see, but I do think we're probably going to just get Akuma right after this. Smack bang right after this. As far as I know, with Akuma, you will be able to summon with free-to-play currency. It may be easier for pay-to-play players to get them, I think, but free-to-play players will have a shot at getting them as well. So hopefully that event doesn't get slapped with another L, because that would just mean that my grading system is just completely gone. But event number 1 is in the bag. L grade. Is it going to go down in Street Fighter Duel history as a watershed moment that stopped this game ever being as successful as it could be? Will we see a massive turnaround, and from here on out things are just going to get so much better, so much stronger? For that to happen, we need developers that communicate, we need players that feel like they're respected and rewarded, and we need a general amount of happiness, and for people like me not to make videos pointing out what's wrong. And the only way that's going to happen is if you don't do things wrong, because I'm not just going to ignore them. That's not me. Anyway guys, let me know what you think in the comments down below. I've been Hayzink. Tune in next time for another exciting episode of Street Fighter Duel. Did they do good? Did they do bad? We'll find out next time. Anyway, peace out, see you later, have a good one, and look forward to Mr. Akuma on his way soon. Bye.